Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Joche and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. And in today's video, I'm gonna be telling you all about my experience at the Grand Palladium Resort and Spa in Jamaica. If you are interested in seeing how this resort is, from the food to the drinks to the customer service, things to do, amenities, then you definitely want to stay until the end. It is on the same property as the Grand Palladium Lady Hamilton Resort and Spa. I will be using chapters to help kind of serve as your table of contents as you work through this video, so that if you're interested in a specific thing, you can kind of skip to that part, or if you want to know it all, you can stay and listen throughout the whole video. If you're new here, I am Joche. I'm a lifestyle content creator from the Atlanta area, and there is something here for you on this channel. Whether you're into travel like this video, you're on a fitness journey, you're a mother, you are frugal, you like fashion, you like relatable, real content, listen, this is the channel for you. So be sure to stick around, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and comment down below with any questions you have, any experiences that you've had that will help the viewers as they come across this video. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the distance from the international airport out of Montego Bay. If you didn't know, this resort is actually located in Lucea, Jamaica, or Lucea, Jamaica. Lucea, Jamaica is about 45 minutes outside of the airport. Just know, like, if you planning to go to like Dunn's Rivers Falls or the Bamboo Raft, you're probably gonna have to ride 45 minutes, an hour longer to get to where you need to go to do your excursions, because this is not really close to any of that stuff. I definitely recommend booking your transportation before you get there, just because you don't know what people may try to overcharge you. Once we arrived to the resort, the bellboys took our luggage and put it in an area near the front. We were offered welcome drinks. There was a little like bartender station set up right in the lobby. I opted for the rum punch. It was very good. Be careful with the rum punch. Our check-in process was a bit hectic and confusing. Their internet had issues and we had to fill out a manual form essentially to check in. They also did something where they mixed up the reservation, like who it was under. It was under my husband instead of under me, but I found this strange because like I was the one who kind of set up the stuff, and I like to like keep track of my points. So I don't think I got any credit for the stay because they put it under my husband's email for whatever reason. After we were done checking in, we went back to the bellboy station to retrieve our bags, and we were able to catch a ride on one of the little carts to our room. The person on the cart was already taking other people, and he stopped us at our building first because our building was like along the way. He was kind of like rushing and things, so like we did not get the level of service that I'm used to at an all-inclusive. This person did not put the bags in our room. We didn't get that tour of the room from the bellboy, the explanation of how to use certain things like the AC. Like that first impression was just like, okay. We had room 2504. I really like that at this resort they give you these cool little wristbands that you can use as your room key. I really love this. I wish every hotel would do this across the United States because I get tired of having to keep up with a hotel card. They did have a stocked mini bar that had red stripe beers, water, Jamaican bottles of water, Fanta, Sprite, Coca-Cola. They also had like a little ice pail, coffee, tea, that sort of thing. There was a safe. The safe looked a little rinky-dink in my opinion. I didn't feel comfortable using it. We had a balcony, lower level balcony that kind of faced the garden, if you will. I didn't bring myself out there because in previous experiences in like woody areas, you can hear the insects from the room we were in. You could hear them throughout the resort, but that makes me think of mosquitoes, and your girl is allergic to mosquitoes. I don't got time to be out there getting ate up trying to be cute on the balcony. It had a king bed. The king bed was soft, comfortable. We did end up having to request extra pillows. The phone did not work for the first 3 days of the trip. And that was extremely frustrating because you would call, it would be staticky, the people would answer the phone and then hang up on you. I literally had to go to the front desk by foot to get some of my issues resolved, and then they finally fixed the phone for us after it being reported 2 or 3 times. And that was super annoying because you get free room service until I think 11 o'clock each day. I think from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's like you can't get free room service from your room if your phone doesn't work. Our first night, the room was kind of hot and we couldn't figure out like how to turn it down. I ended up figuring it out myself, but it would have been cool if I could have called to get that help the first day to make it comfortable, instead of me having to play with it and realize on my own. The bathroom, it did include like a jacuzzi whirlpool tub, which was super comfortable. Definitely recommend getting in there. It was very nice to feel the jets. All of that was functional. It worked. The tub drained properly. The toilet was in a separate walled area from the shower, but y'all, there was no separate door. So if you are doing number 2 in the bathroom, just know you're gonna stink up the bathroom because it's like right next to it. And I felt like the shower is like right next to it with a door, and it has like a raining shower and all of that, and that's cool, but it was smaller. 2 adults can fit in the shower, but it's not like a bench or, you know, super spacious. And they do have the detachable water head that you can use to like spray yourself, which is really helpful because you do have beach access at the resort. And so being able to spray the sand off of your body with the sprayer is very, very convenient. The room ranges, if you're planning in advance, I saw $1,500 for the equivalent room that we had for October 2024. If you were looking for like a more upgraded room, they do have some renovated rooms, and those rooms range from like $2,000 up to like $2,500 depending on the room type. One of my friends on the trip did have one of the nice renovated rooms. It had a swim up pool on the side, and they are in the process of renovating. You can see it clearly as you walk around this resort. Several of the shops were not available. Things that were downstairs underneath the lobby area, you could see like construction going on clearly, and it was going on throughout the night. Now it wasn't like loud or disruptive, but it was definitely clear that this place was under construction. Let's get into the food. To my understanding, they have 3 buffets: Montego Bay buffet, Negril buffet, and Blue Lagoon. I was able to try all 3, and my best breakfast was at the Negril buffet. I had brown stew chicken, delicious plantains, some callaloo, and I had some French toast. We arrived on a Thursday, we left on a Monday, and only 2 of the days did we see plantains on the breakfast buffet, and that was surprising to me. I saw an assortment of food in the Montego Bay buffet. They had pastries, they had breads, they had different juices, they had an assortment of fruit. It didn't look like the freshest fruit, which was surprising. I did eat watermelon. Some were sweet, some were not. The salad bar had like greens and tomatoes and things like that, but it just also had some interesting foods that I wouldn't necessarily eat. There was jerk chicken, jerk pork. In the breakfast line, they had a French toast, pancakes. You could also get potatoes. They did an omelet station. I tried omelet my second morning. I didn't really like it, so I didn't eat any more eggs for the rest of the trip. They consistently had jerk chicken and jerk pork, or brown stew chicken, curry chicken, things of that nature. I felt like both buffets had the same food. It was just a matter of like the aesthetics inside of each place. The service was hit or miss at the buffets. You go in, you check in with the hostess, tell them your room number. They'll bring you to a table. There sometimes seemed to be like confusion on if they had already seated people from other rooms at said tables, and so that could cause confusion. And then just sometimes it seemed like it was hard to find your server consistently. So you may get someone to come and take your drink order. It might take a while for them to come back with it, or come back with refills. Blue Lagoon is literally just the same food that you would see, but it's less of it. Think like outside overlooking the ocean and the pool. We enjoyed the food there. We went like as soon as breakfast had started one of the days, but it was too hot to eat outside. So we was like, get somebody else to do it. I definitely recommend making reservations. You can do this in their mobile app, or you can do it on like the reservations desk that's right at the upstairs lobby where you check in. We did our reservations on our second day. We were able to experience 2 restaurants. Wi-Fi was an issue for them. It didn't necessarily affect me. My Wi-Fi worked great. I was able to use WhatsApp. I was able to text. But like when I went to do my reservations, they were having issues with Wi-Fi, so they had to manually write my reservations. And I didn't have no issues when I went to check in for my reservations, but I feel like just by facial expressions, there might have been some confusion between writing the manual reservations and then getting them updated when the internet was working. But like I said, they didn't give us no trouble when we wanted to check in. The first restaurant was the Jamaica restaurant, which is their Jamaican restaurant. This was the only place on the resort that I was able to get oxtails. Apparently some other people in my group found oxtails at the buffet. I didn't experience any oxtails at the buffet, so I'm just speaking to my experiences. I had cocoa bread. That was the only place to get cocoa bread. It was the only place where I was able to have some good oxtails, but the oxtails were lukewarm. I had some red pea soup and I liked that. I made a little salad and it was probably the best salad that I saw. I did also try a little piece of snapper. I felt like the snapper was just okay, but I gave it a B because the food was better. Because the food was good there, but our entrees did not come out hot. Now let's get into the best food on the resort. The best food on the resort was at the El Dorado Steakhouse. If there is not anything I can tell you, if you're already booked and it's already been paid for and you already locked in watching this video, then you need to know. When you get there, go ahead and make you a reservation or 2 for the El Dorado Steakhouse. That food was the best food that we had, hands down. I give them an A+ because the food was delicious. The server we had was phenomenal. His name was Steven. He made us feel like we were at a 5-star restaurant, and I would have expected that sort of customer service consistently throughout the entire trip, but that just was not what happened. My advice is make your reservations for the premium restaurants on your first day. Go ahead and lock in a dinner reservation, preferably early. Dinner starts at 5 and the restaurants are open from like 5 to 9:45-ish. Go ahead and lock in a 5:30 or a 6 o'clock dinner. Don't go at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock when they finna close, because the food might have been sitting at that point. You wanna go when dinner is just starting, the food is fresh, everything is gonna be top tier as far as the salad bar or whatever, and you're gonna get the best of the best. With the food that I tried outside of the restaurants, just speaking on buffets only, I would get tired of eating that food if I was staying longer than 4 days. I was tired of eating it after day 3. So if you are staying for a week, I would definitely recommend bringing some spending money. Bring at least $500. I know that sounds like a lot, but when you think about getting to and from somewhere, you might be charged over $100 just to get there. But having money so you can go off the resort and experience some food off the resort would be of value. Now, my mother-in-law had a really nice guy come to the room for us, and he brought us local food. We paid him and he did that. We have oxtail plate with rice and peas and cabbage, and it smells amazing. I hope it tastes as good as it looks. I'll report back shortly. It was funny, we ran into the guy as we were walking to breakfast on our second day, or maybe third day, and he overheard us talking about the food and basically saying like how the food wasn't that good. So I asked him, because he was kind of in our conversation, well, where do you recommend that we get the best food on this resort? Yes. You know, where can I get the oxtails and things like that? And he laughed and he goes, there is no best. And I just feel like that was a true indication and summary of what we experienced, because the overall food was like a 3 out of 5 at best. Moving on to drinks, the rum punch. At the beginning of the video, I told y'all to be careful with the rum punch. The reason why I'm saying that is because the rum punch is good. I call it a silent but deadly. To me, it tasted like juice. We were starving. We walked from building 25 to the Montego Bay restaurant. And when I sat down to have dinner, the server asked us did we want anything to drink. And of course, I asked for more rum punch and a glass of water. And it was good, but it was strong. And then I had another maybe refill before we left. That's 3 full glasses of rum punch, because the welcome drinks are like little small skinny mimosa drinks, but the glass the guy brought me was big at the dinner table. Later that night I went to a welcome event for my group. They had an open bar, and what do I get? More rum punch. And so when I get done with the rum punch, I'm feeling good, you know. I go to sleep, but then I wake up in the middle of the night, maybe like 3-4 a.m. Central Time, and guess who has to throw up? Your girl. So I say that to say, be careful with the rum punch. The alcohol selection at this resort to me was pretty bottom shelf when it comes to what was included for free. Now I did see over by the jerk cut that was located by the pool and beach area, they did have top shelf options such as Patron, Crown. They had Coronas locked up in a refrigerator that you had to pay $5 and charge to the room. And they had other like brands that you would see more in the United States. On the free bars, they seem to mostly have rum. As far as bourbon, they did have like Jim Beam. They had a few different scotch options, gold tequila, but very much bottom shelf things. The rum punch is good, but it will sneak up on you. Maybe don't have so much because you might get sick. That is what happened to me. I'm telling y'all, it tasted like juice. So that was my favorite drink, but after getting sick, I didn't drink no more of it because I didn't want to get sick. As far as other drinks I tried, I had some red wine at the steakhouse. It was good. I also had some Bob Marley, which was delish, at the swimming pool. They had a pool bar at the main pool. That was good. It was nice and cold, refreshing. Overall, I ranked the drinks like a 4 out of 5. They were good drinks. I also bought my own alcohol because rum is the drink of choice usually. So I brought my own, and I was able to use it with the drinks that they put in the mini fridge, so that was great as well. Now let's talk about amenities. What amenities did I use? I did go inside of the fitness center. It was a pretty impressive fitness center with cardio machines, weights, televisions. They had water and towels and things for you to use. It was located near the spa atrium area. This gym closed around 10 p.m. each night. They had nightly entertainment. While I was there, I did see them doing a Michael Jackson show. Caught the end of it. They also did a High School Musical show because this is a kid-friendly resort. It's family-friendly. If you bring in your kids, they have a section in the resort where you can stay, and it has this huge like water slide type thing. Like if you want to take your kids, they have that for your kids. The kids have things to do. The beach access is pretty straightforward. It is right behind the main pool. Adjacent to the jerk hut, there's a little walkway bridge you can go down to, and then you have beach access with the ability to rent cabana beds that are kind of covered. They look super cozy. We didn't use those. We decided just to use the traditional chairs and layout, and that was pretty cool as well. They were inconsistent with the towels. Like, you could sign out towels by showing your wristband, but apparently they had towel cards. They just weren't distributing them to every person who checked in and out of the resort. So when we went, I had to keep giving my room number to get a beach towel, but they, you know, provide you with the towels. There were some games on the like poolside area. The day that we went to the pool with our group, we witnessed Battle of the Sexes. My husband actually participated in the games, and that was pretty fun. I was vlogging, so I'll overlay some clips of that, but I felt like that was fun. You know, pretty much competition on the beach where you can do like cool little, like, it's giving field day activities. The pool was pretty large. You know, it was, the weather when we went was kind of overcast, but it was pretty comfortable, humid, but comfortable. Plenty of areas to sit. It was never a time when we went out there and I couldn't find a place to put my stuff. And I also thought that like the employees in the pool area tried to make it fun. Like the Battle of the Sexes competition was in exchange for a bottle of rum. They also have an excursions help desk at the bottom where all the renovations and stuff are going on, near the shops. And so if you want to get off the resort, you can. I remember talking to a nice lady. They can arrange transportation via cab for you. There's guys upstairs that can take you to and from places. According to the employee I talked with, the fare was like $60 for up to 4 people for anything within 7 miles or less. And then for longer rides, like if you're trying to go to Montego Bay, I think she said it was like 120. If you're trying to go to Nick Rill or further out, then it'd be like 160 for up to 4 people. But they'll take you, you know, they had all kinds of things you could do. People will give you prices and you can decide what you want to do. We did not end up doing any of that. We stayed on the resort. So if you're wondering, like, is it enjoyable to be on the resort? Sure, it is. It depends on who you're going with and what you want to do. If you're the type of person that just kind of wants to lounge around, have a few drinks, enjoy some entertainment, not go far, you can do that here. The spa, I did not use the spa services, but they had a lot of spa services. And some of the people in my group did. They did massages and enjoyed them. They also had like nail services. You can get your hair braided. I thought that that was cool. Like I saw a lady who had her hair cornrowed and I was like, that's cool. So if you need service done, you want to get the whole shebang, they do offer it here. They also have photo shoots available. You go, you say you're interested in taking photos, you figure out what backdrop you want or where on the resort you want to do the pictures together. They'll take as many pictures, as many poses as you want. They'll upload them and you come back and you review the pictures and then you're able to select to pay for however many you want. You can either get them printed physically or you can get them printed digitally. And my aunt actually did end up doing the digital version. There is a nightly like turn up, if you will, at the Infinity Bar. And it was a vibe. It was lots of dancing going on. It was lots of involvement from the staff trying to hype up the crowd and keep it fun. You know, we were doing the now walk it to your right, now move it on back, now dip baby, come on now and dip baby. Like, you know, we were cha-chaing and we were sliding and we were flexing and K-wanging and all that good stuff. So I heard a variety of music for us, but then they didn't just cater to us. Like the DJ was like, you know, I'm playing something for everybody. We did the Jerusalem challenge. Like it was all kinds of cool dance music going on, and that was really fun on my last night. They also have an extra time sports bar for my fellas. If you go in, they have those like channels in the room, but some of the premium channels like games, fights and things like that, you're gonna have to go to the extra time sports bar to see those. The extra time sports bar is open pretty late. I don't believe it's like serving food 24 hours, but they are the latest open place on a resort where you can go and get something late night to eat. Essentially, it is set up like a mini buffet where you can get popcorn and sweets and little finger food like chicken tenders, chicken wings, burgers. They might have like sandwich stuff on the bar, little things to snack on late night when you are hungry. But they also have a menu where you can place orders and order food. I ordered a loaded potato skin thing and it was pretty good. And I know this sounds crazy, but I had the chef bring me out a plate of pickles because I was there for a Zumba event and I had danced so hard. And the night before, I had the worst Charlie horse that woke me up out of my sleep. And so, you know, if you drink vinegar or have pickle juice or mustard, those things can kind of help. And the chef was so sweet and brought me out a plate of pickles because the buffet didn't have any pickles that day. And I couldn't find any pickles or vinegar on the resort. If your spouse or if you are into sports and you're kind of looking for a place to go and be able to watch games, maybe shoot some pool, you want to go to extra time. And then also we saw they have a sports entertainment center where you could do paintballing and there was other activities like pretty much exercising, group things you can do on the resort. If you go to the sports center, they can give you more information. You can set up fun activities with your group. So again, that goes back to being like family friendly and fun friendly on the resort. Like if you want to go, you've already paid, you know, $1,500 to $2,500 to be here per, you know, let's say seven to 1K a person to be here. I'm really big on picking a nice resort that has things that you can do so that you don't have to feel like you have to go off the resort to experience things. And with that, I'm going to segue and talk about customer service. Customer service was consistently hit and miss. As far as great customer service, the lady who cleaned our room was so sweet and she was so helpful. She is the one who helped us get our phone fixed because after complaining at the front desk the first time, I don't think it was documented. We let the reservation lady know that the front desk or that our phone was not working because we had to go in person to make our reservations. And it wasn't until we told our housekeeping lady what was going on that they actually fixed our phone. The guy that my mother-in-law had bring us the food, he was super kind as well. He helped bring us extra drinks and snacks, and we were not getting our minibar refilled because the guys who fill up the minibar, their key card would not work in our building on our specific room for some reason. Only the housekeeping could get in. So it was super frustrating because it's hot and we've drunk all our water and we couldn't get any water. So I also ran into a guy who had the like pallets of water on a little tray, and I stopped him to ask for water, and he was really sweet as well. He offered to walk us to the room and refill us, and then he came back with a box of like peanuts and chips and candy for us because we were supposed to be getting that in addition to the water and stuff, but we didn't get it because they couldn't get into our room. So the customer service from those people was good, but the bad customer service that I experienced really came through at the front desk and in the buffet. At the front desk during check-in, it was a little bit of confusion because they didn't have answers to anything and their system was down. So we ended up having to check in with a paper. They had the reservation under my husband, even though I was the one who pretty much put the trip together and initiated it. And that was frustrating to me, even though we both paid for the trip. And I'm not saying like I don't want my husband to have it. I'm like the travel person in our relationship. So I already have a portfolio with Palladium and I already have points with Palladium. But because they didn't put it under me and they put it under him, the points that we got for this stay, it went to his account that he's never going to use. So I was annoyed because it was like when I was saying something, I was just kind of getting like a nonchalant response from them and they didn't fix it. Additionally, we kept on having technology issues. Like I mentioned a few times, our phone was not working. So whenever we needed something, we had to essentially communicate through housekeeping, which only comes once a day, midday, or go to the front desk and actually walk up there. So imagine if you're wanting to order room service, you have to walk up to the front desk and order room service. And I was getting hung up on because the phone wouldn't work. So, you know, yes, they did fix it, but 3 days later, it's just like, okay, well, what if I would have had an emergency in the room and I'm calling for help? How would that have played out without a working phone? The other thing is they have the app. I downloaded it just for the trip and the app was useless. There was nothing that I could do on it. I could not make reservations through it like they said. I could not find out information about what times things were available like they said. I literally had to go to the front desk for everything. And I felt like that was a lot of work on me when I'm supposed to just be enjoying myself. As far as bad customer service in the buffets, it was a lot about lead time. I felt like I saw a lot of employees walking around with drinks, walking around, staring at people, not really doing anything, talking, chattering. Some people were like refilling tables and bussing tables and things like that. But in a large dining room like that one, buffet style, to see so many servers around and they're not really working together as a team, it's kind of like, you know, certain people, not the managers, like if a manager saw you needed help, they'll help you or they'll go send somebody to help you. But it's like when you have your assigned server at this resort, it's almost like people are like, well, that's your server right there. So even though your glass might be empty, I'm not gonna refill you. If your server disappears for 20 minutes, you might just be sitting there waiting with an empty glass and needing something to drink. And mind you, this is Jamaica. So y'all are serving jerk chicken and things with different unique flavors and stuff. You need some water to wash it down with. What was the icing on the cake was my mother-in-law and sister, they joined us because her sister was celebrating her birthday. And on her birthday, they went to Negril to have a dinner. You know, went through the hostess, had the table for two. Their server came over, took their drink orders, and didn't come back for almost 15 minutes. During that time, they saw the server serving other couples, but they were ignored. And mind you, it is my aunt's birthday. It got to a point where they told the manager at the grill what was going on, and the server still failed to come in a timely manner, so they ended up leaving. When we got to Montego Bay, the experience was better. We did have better service, with the person, you like not being ignored, but it just took a while to get everything. And it was confusing because you would see people walking around like they're serving people and they're doing stuff, but then it would be like they're still not getting back to you quickly with things, even though you see people available to do it, basically. And so we told the staff that it was my aunt's birthday because we noticed like someone else getting a birthday song, and they did come out and they did a birthday song. They brought out the cake and everything like that, but by then they had already dampered her birthday experience. And so I cannot emphasize how much customer service is important to me. If I am paying all-inclusive prices, if I'm spending thousands of dollars to come and be at your resort, I want to be treated like I matter to you. When people are traveling, they are traveling because they're celebrating something. Whether it is a birthday, it is an anniversary, it is a wedding, a bachelor party type vibe, or family milestone, whatever. People are doing a big trip because they are wanting to get away from their normal mundane 9-to-5 service that you would get at home. And so when you go out the country and you are on a resort, I'm talking about a resort, not a local place, because you know, when you go and you stay with the locals in an Airbnb or something, you are doing that because you're expecting more of the authentic experience. You want to be engulfed in the culture. When you stay on a resort, you're staying on a resort because you want resort customer service. This website literally brands themselves as a 5-star resort. And the experience that I had between the renovations and the inconsistencies with customer service, as well as just like being underwhelmed with the food and things like that, it just did not give 5 stars to me. And when I checked out, the bellboy came and they got our stuff. It took me to the lobby so that I could get ready to check out. And of course, it starts pouring down rain. The man takes our stuff, goes out, and leaves me in the cart with it pouring down, raining. I'm standing in the middle of the cart trying to not get wet, and half of my clothes get wet. My shoe gets drenched. And then I'm just sitting there, and one nice man came and got me on another cart. He parked me close, let me come cross over, and then drove me to the lobby. But by then I was already half wet. And I go to the desk to check out, and I'm asking, hey, can I please have a towel? I just want to dry this stuff off. I don't want to have to change my clothes. I've already given the bellboys my stuff. We're about to leave for the airport soon. And do you know, they had me standing there waiting for like 5, 6, 7 minutes before I have to ask the same lady again. And she's like, oh, well, only housekeeping has towels, and they're on the other side of the resort. And so, you know, and I'm like, well, can you call someone to send a towel up here? And you know, she essentially emphasizes that they could possibly get wet. And I'm not saying I want somebody to walk in the rain for me, but what I am saying is it doesn't make sense that y'all have a spa, y'all have pools, y'all have kitchens, literally a downstairs area. Y'all gotta have some sort of clean towels somewhere where you could have provided that. So I had to solve my own problem and go and get my luggage that I had just given to the people to check for us when we're about to leave. Find something to wear in my suitcase. Luckily, I had something I could put on. And then go change my clothes and shoes because one of my shoes got wet. All because the bellboy essentially left me in the rain. And I just say that to say, like, between checking in and the bellboy basically being in a rush to go serve the other people and not really wanting to stop and help us get to our room, to being checked out and being left on a cart, the experience overall was just blah. I checked out, you know, they cut my wristband. I waited for my ride to get me. I was sitting there irritated because I had gotten wet. So it was smoother than check-in because the computer was working. This is my 3rd time staying at a Grand Palladium property. And honestly, I'm not sure if I would want to return after this. And it's really sad because my last experience with them was awesome. Awesome, like 10 out of 10. No complaints at all. So to go from experiencing such an amazing time in Costa Mujeres to experiencing a very lackluster experience really disappointed me and made me say, okay, maybe I should look at other resorts when I'm traveling. I feel like I need to redo. Customer service is huge. And I just remember I stayed in Dominican Republic and the food was horrible, but the service was so amazing, so top tier and so pleasant that I was singing their praises when I left, even though the food was not great. And that goes to show that sometimes when things are not going well, having the right attitude can really shift someone's experience. And so if you're asking, is this a good resort? In some ways it is. You know, I had fun with my group, but you know, if I wasn't with my group, I probably wouldn't have felt the same way about the experience, just based on what I experienced with encountering those employees. I would love to hear your thoughts about Jamaica if you've ever been. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. If I haven't answered it, I'll be sure to answer as best as I can based on my experience. And if you know anyone that is going to this resort, please share this video with them. Help them be prepared if they're set on going there. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I hope to see y'all in an upcoming video or live session. Bye.